the scholarship, as are numerous students I've had qualify for it, and it's meant so much to so many people in Nevada because it's that bridge for some, like I'm sure he had as well. It's that bridge for some students who might otherwise see higher education as being beyond their reach financially, but he was such an advocate for scholarships, and it's just been tremendous, I think, for Nevadans, and again, in one way, it's not only providing money, but it's also keeping some of that homegrown talent that here in the state, rather than losing them to out-of-state schools.
So that's Kenny Gwynn. Let me introduce you to Sarah Winnemucca. Every state in the United States can be represented in the U.S. Congress in Washington, D.C. by 2 statutes commemorating important people from the state. In the year 2000, we only had one, and it was Senator Pat McCarran from Northern Nevada. There was a book written, in fact, I have the book. I've been reading it. This book was written in 2000 about Sarah Winnemucca, and it inspired a women's group, the Nevada Women's History Project, of which I am a member now, but I was not then, to propose that Sarah Winnemucca be our second statue in the U.S. Congress. They went to the legislature and got approval for this, but no money.
Sounds like education. Great ideas, but we need some money behind it.
So the Nevada Women's History Project raised the money. They helped choose the sculptor. And in 2005, an exact copy of this statue is now in Congress, representing Nevada. Yeah. Sarah Winnemucca was a Northern Paiute, a Native American who lived with her tribe just around Pyramid Lake. Her grandfather was Chief Truckee, and he welcomed the white people who came from Oregon. There was an expedition led by a man named John Charles Fremont, and he was an army captain, and he had some troops with him and a cannon, and he came from Oregon, and he named Pyramid Lake. He was friendly with the Indians there. Chief Truckee welcomed him, and Chief Truckee guided John C. Fremont to the south and then over the mountains to Setter's Mill in California. Unfortunately, when her father, Chief Winnemucca, became chief, things were not so happy between the white men and the Native Americans. There were several things that really upset the Indians, including Sarah. One was that all across the West, even in Canada, and I've recently learned in Australia, the white people took the children away from their families and their tribes and put them in boarding schools. There's one here in Carson City.
Currently a scandal.
I beg your pardon?
This is a very huge scandal in Canada right now.
Yes. So it happened here. It happened to her tribe. And as I said, there is one of these Indian schools here in Carson City at which they give tours if you want to do that. That was one injustice that she protested. Another one was that the government took her people, her tribe, and made them move to Oregon forcefully. And then further on to Washington, Yakima, Washington. She thought this was unjust. She had made some friends in San Francisco, and they encouraged her to go back east and talk to the president. She talked to the president. She testified in Congress. She had a speaking tour where she would lecture to people all up and down the East Coast about the injustices. So we turn now to the statue. She holds the book that she wrote in English The first book written by a Native American woman in English. It's called Life Among the Paiutes, Their Wrongs and Claims. It talks about what has happened to her people. It talks about her life and their customs. And it also is a protest document against what happened to them. It's a very influential book.
In the right hand.
In her left.
Right hand, but in the right hand, what does she have?
Oh, what's being held in her right
Oh,
hand?
yes. The sculptor was only 25 years old when he got this commission.
Okay.
Since then, he has made a career. He has 2 other statues in Congress from other states and some others. He said that this pose is reminiscent of the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
Right? Liberty holds a torch. She holds her flower. All of the girls in her tribe were named for flowers. And this is her flower. It's called in English a shell flower. And I'm sorry, I can't say it in Paiute. But that's her birth flower.
The school where I teach, we're the only high school in northern Nevada, possibly in the state, but I'm not sure. But we're the only high school within Washoe County that offers Paiute language classes.
That's right.
So students at my high school can take the language classes of the Sarah Winnemucca's tribe, the Paiute, and can learn the native language of the Paiute, and that's taught at my school.
I feel that the North American people are trying to respect more and more and more the Aborigines right now, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sarah herself spoke 5 languages. She spoke Paiute, her native language, Shoshone, which is similar, Washoe, which is a totally different Native American language, English, and Spanish. She had a gift for languages. When she was a young teenager, her father sent her to live with a very important family in Genoa. I see we have some people. Hello, would you like to join the tour?